Hello, this is Team Tarcenim from Ulster University Belfast, and we've been tasked with developing a Roki environment for our Term 2 project, which we are designing in the form of a blacksmith workshop.
I am Kieran McArdle. I am a character modeler for Team Tarcenim.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm Team Tarcenim's character designer.
Hi, my name is Matthew McCrae. I'm one of Team Tarcenim's environmentalist modelists.
Hello, I'm Owen Brady and I am another of Team Tarcenim's environment artists.
And hello, I am Isaac Smith, and I am another one of Team Tarcenim's environmental artists. We are developing a Roki environment with Scandinavian influences in the form of a blacksmith's workshop in both the environment and the character designs that will be placed within it.
So starting off with the protagonist of our scene, we decided that we wanted to emulate Roki's style of storytelling, children facing giants of folklore as closely as possible. Looking to avatar Aang as a leading example as well as Atreus, Torsten quickly took shape even in early thumbnails. Torsten is a young boy around 10 years of age. He's keen on superheroes, dragons, and exploring the outdoors, though he's yet to get over his fear of the dark. Torsten's companion on his adventures takes the form of a sage plus dragon Jormund, named after the world's serpent in folklore. Torsten is an altruistic boy who isn't afraid to speak his mind. His dream is to fly and follow in the footsteps of his favourite heroes. He seeks to bring out the fun in others around him wherever he can. Torsten's influences in design changed quite a bit, from other boys in movies and video games to art by Swedish artist Simon Stallenhag. His colour palette is grounded but childlike and bright, reflective of his hopeful personality. He contrasts well enough from natural environments around him, which is a crucial aspect of design from the beginning. In terms of progress, Torsten and his dragon have been fully designed. He has a fleshed out personality, a loose backstory, various mannerisms and things that attribute to his character. Modelling has come with various design choices to maintain as simple yet lively a concept as possible, in contrast with the jaded history of the blacksmith's forge he finds himself in. While his model has yet to be fully completed, still missing more complex details, I'm excited to bring his character to life.
This is the character that I've been working on. His name is Roki. Roki is a no-nonsense character with a strong and determined personality. He is fiercely proud of his craftsmanship and has a reputation for creating the best weapons in the region. His habits and mannerisms are that working on the forge, he has a strict work routine, he is a perfectionist, and he is kind and generous. These are some of the influences I used when creating the concept. I gathered of different Scandinavian blacksmiths.
In terms of our group's major environmental influences and what sort of steered us in the direction we went, it was heavily influenced honestly by the Roki's potion room. We loved the cluttered design of it, but we mostly loved the one central point being that cauldron, giving off light to the room and giving off life to the room. We loved the storytelling element of that, and we loved how easily it sets a scene, but we didn't really know how to run with that or how we were going to incorporate that into our scene. So then we started looking heavily into Scandinavian culture, and we discovered that Scandinavians are very artisanal people. They are very into their crafting, they're very into their forgery, their building, their construction, are honestly quite incredible at it from what we discovered. So we went down the route of an artisan, more accurately a blacksmith, as forge really spoke to us. We liked how it blended in well with that one central point being the forge, giving off light to the whole room and sort of giving life to the whole room. We also loved the clutter of the potions room. We loved how lived in and real it was, and we sort of wanted to recreate that environment. And again, the blacksmith's forge was perfect for it. It really lined up with the culture of both the game and the people, and it gave us a lot to work with clutter in the room, with loads of different props, loads of different objects. We really liked the actual designs of Scandinavian forges, always being either wood or stone, very simple, very strong working rooms, easy to design, but even in that simplicity, quite magnificent.
So, for our many asset influences, we pulled a lot of this stuff from actual Scandinavian culture. And we've mainly used Viking weaponry and armor as our basis, as you can see from the helmet and the axes. Also, the shield. That's one of our main influences. However, because Roki is set sort of time that's both modern and in the past, we've also taken some modern day influences, specifically in the tools, to give the sense of old and new blending together into this one amalgamous thing. I believe we've chosen this sense to give the idea that, well, Rock and his son live up in the mountains. They aren't too disconnected from modern times. They can use modern tools, but with ancient techniques to make their weapons even better.
With our current blacksmith environment build for the scene, we have gathered together all of our assets so we could figure out the scaling of each, which was done in order to make sure that none of them were oversized for the scene that we were developing, in case any were larger than they should have been or too small for what we were doing. The scene was also made so that we could figure out the lighting for the scene and adjust the hard colours applied to the objects from there, since the Roki art style would be using hard colours instead of actual lighting in a scene. But unfortunately, we hadn't finished the furnace model at the time of writing this, which would have been the primary light source for the scene. However, in the coming weeks, we'll be moving on to working on it in order to figure out the lighting for the scene itself and to add in the finishing touches to the environment so that we could finish up the project.
With the anvil, I wanted to show somewhat the passage of time, if that would make sense. Basically, you have an anvil. If you're constantly striking it over and over and over again with a hammer, or you're smithing it yourself, like you're forging your own personal anvil, it's not going to be to perfection like an industry standard. You're going to have dents, deformations, lumpy bits on the outside of it, darker parts from deeper impact of a hammer against the anvil. So that's what I was going with. Something I wanted to do is choose a more bluish color, as if it were made from a sort of cobalt titanium blend, to show that the anvil's built to last despite its damage. There's a distinctive darker spot in the middle. I've made that purposefully so that my anvil seems well used, and that the smith knows what he's doing.
As for my work on the anvil hammer, as you can see on the right of the screen, I designed it in order to have certain dents and marks on the model itself, which would be able to show that there had been like wear and tear on the item itself. It isn't very well seen on the image that is shown, but in addition to the markings on the front of the hammer showing that it had been clearly used and dented on the front of it, around the handle are also some markings which would show that the blacksmith character that Kieran had made was frequently using the hammer in order to work away at all of the projects in the blacksmithing workshop. In addition to that, there are also dents that are actually engraved around all sides of the hammer, which once again just further go to show the usage that it's seen.
For the main props, the smelting ladle, in my opinion, was one of the most important because we're going for accuracy in our blacksmith scene. So we needed, all of the actual key elements of the actual smithing process. So I personally took on the smelting ladle, trying to design it as historically accurate and in the method of Scandinavian as I actually could.